Hello everyone at the next multi-network community sync. Today is August 6th and I have a topic. So last week on SIG Network I did presented our notably the design for our multi-network with the array approach. I think Lionel, you've been there. I'm not sure whether Masahara you had a chance, but we had some feedback, more or less, not sure. I think people were asking mostly about the next steps rather than just this piece, and it's because just it's so simple. So I think this approach is kind of straightforward. Our next goal will be to secure LGTMs for this PR that I linked, and basically this PR is me transforming the previous doc into this. And I decommissioned the initial doc. By the way, I updated as well some stuff here, so I'm not linking to it anymore. The PR is the thing, and so these links are now active. So I would ask everyone here to read this, review it, and if you're all okay with this, LGTM it. If yeah, I think I'm seeking for as most as possible LGTMs I can on this right now to get it merged. I did already some changes because I had some reviews from Antonio on this already, so you can read out his comments. You can kind of reply if you want to and help me with the discussion as well. So because of that, I think some feedback I got is I think I'm going to open the readable version to kind of show you what I had changed. Share this tab instead. So I think two notable changes is I'm clearing up the situation about the network configuration because this is what he's calling out. So just calling out that we are not trying to standardize the configuration of networks. And that's not the goal. The goal is to standardize how we interact with Kubernetes. So basically interactions, the array, and then handler for Kubernetes. So basically having the handler and how it interacts with Kubernetes, right? That's the main goal of this, not to standardize the network configuration itself. So that's one aspect, just to clarify, and I think we are all in the same page on that one. The other aspect I changed was the field provider. I think it was too vague. It was optional, and wasn't, and it was saying the language there was like it's up to the implementation and how they deal with it. Right now, I'm saying that you have to specify it. It has to be in the domain prefix path, something like this, an example, and then you have to have it, and you cannot modify it, right? So this is immutable. So kind of simplified the text for this one. It's not optional anymore, and each provider has to kind of define one. So there is that. And then lastly, I think I got a feedback internally on the groups because this is where I was unfamiliar with that aspect. So apparently, like maybe initially I have been pushing to get our stuff into the direct network Kubernetes IO group, API group. But what I'm learned, and I was pushing back from the X, then the main reason for this was to ensure that we in the same groups are the other API. So there is no pushback on folks saying, oh, we don't want to. The other folks, other APIs push back on us that, oh, you're in X group, so sorry, we don't want to point to that. But I think how folks are using, I got an example from Gateway API where their experimental APIs are put here. And then when it's becoming more mature, they graduate it to the group here. So I assume there is a ways to graduate from one to the other, and that's basically what I'm calling out here. To initially we're gonna create. My headset has 5-minute timeout and nobody's else speaking. just me, and I assume it doesn't react on me on the mic. It just reacts on the sound coming from the headset. So let's just leave. Sorry. You need to speak more, folks.
Oh,
All right, so I think that's the one I think major change. So I think initially we want to get this object, the spot network object on this group to get at this PR merge, so this we can create this object and get moving on because yeah, without anything, without I think this CL, I'm not sure whether we can do something. We probably could, but this is all around like a moving target thing. So yeah, that's kind of problematic. So I just want to reduce the friction as much as possible. So that's why I'm deciding. I was thinking to okay, let's push it here, and then later on when we be more mature and adapted in better ways, in some ways, or proven, we can move to the K8s.io group. I think the rest was the same. I haven't changed much around here. Let me see. Oh, and I just said at the end, performance test. I think this is what Antonio called out, right? So I'm just stating we're gonna add performance tests for all the behaviors here listed. So please review and LGTM. If you're all okay with all this LGTM, and that's an indicator that okay, some folks look at this and yeah, it looks good for looks good for us, right? This is viable because we need the like a lot of some quorum around this to kind of get this moving on. Otherwise, it's just me, and then at least this is how it currently looks like. It's just me pushing this, and that's kind of not okay. Any questions? All right.
just a question. I think I saw a comment about in the PR last time it was about like Cilium implementation, Calico, OVN Kubernetes, etc. Do we plan to talk to this group? Because I mean they are implementing multi-networking, but they are not using this API yet. But maybe if they are implementing this API and integrating with this API, then we could have more force.
Yeah, definitely. So our goal, I think, from Google side is definitely to push it towards Cilium. That was I was always stating that that's our like the next step to having this is to go to Cilium community and drive it there because we have our kind of stake over there. So we definitely want to do that. And then I think the other groups, that's fair, Lionel. We probably could reach out to those communities and see what they think about this, right? Yeah, I
I could
think that
try with people in Red Hat on
yeah,
OVN
we can
Kubernetes. I
go
could
to
try to
the
ask.
is the Multus is the working group, network plumbing working group, is that still happening? Do you know?
Yes, it's still happening. But it's I think it's different people driving it now.
Yeah, so I think we can put ourselves on the agenda and see if there's interest. That's a fair point to go there, and probably the other if there's some other around to seek. Um, yeah, some spread this around and see what they think and what they have in mind around this. That's a fair point. I think at least the network working the network plumbing working group. I think this is something we can go uh, and present the same
Was
thing
more
over there.
I was more thinking about OVN Kubernetes, for example, because they have this user-defined network that might be similar to this object, but just we're trying to have something generate that can be used by everybody.
Mm,
So maybe they could be interested. I don't know.
yeah, that's a good pointer, Lionel. Let's try to seek for that and go to all those communities and see what can be done. I will start looking into that and kind of add myself to the agenda in those. Lionel, we can spread, of course,
Yeah, I will
divide and
try with
conquer this. So we can you know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm planning to create a doc on who we need to have approvals from. So like I think Lionel and Dan from Seed Networking definitely want to have theirs, and then we can add all those others, and we can kind of assign folks to who wants. I will share that doc with you, Lionel, and then we can, whoever
Thanks.
wants to kind of handle specific people, then we can yeah, divide and conquer that. Yeah.
And the second question was about the demo, because last week you didn't have time for the demo. Will you continue next week, or
So I
I think
consider I'm
it's
done with the demo. I did finish it. Do you feel it wasn't done, Lionel? Because I think I presented most of the things. There was nothing much else to.
no. I mean, I thought you were planning for like a demo, like a live demo of this running. You didn't do it last week, right? Or I missed it.
Did I not? No, I did do it. Gaurav?
I I think you did, although we may have done that quickly, but yes, I think we did show something. Yes.
Okay, so maybe so because I on my side it yeah, I flew through it. Yes, definitely. Kind of fast because it was the end of the meeting, but I did show the console, Lionel, and or was I too fast? And I'm not sure who was on else. Gareth, you've been there. Was it like it was just happening too fast and it wasn't?
So I had some thoughts around that. So I was going to ask, like, do we plan on having a second session within the SIG networking group and go into some of the more details of certain aspects? For example, something like, I think we may not have covered that, but like, why do we really need the pod network? I think that question may need some further, like, if you like, I think that is the crux, right? And we really want to
Right.
like get that idea across about why do we really need that, like, why, what happens if we don't have a pod network or an
Oh
additional
wow.
pieces at all?
So I was thinking the whole presentation was all about that, to be honest with you, really. But
Okay, so
I mean,
it apparently wasn't.
I mean, to me, I understood this point, but it was more the demo that I maybe missed. I don't know.
So Gaurav, from my point of view, at least that was the main kind of message I want to say why we need it. I showed the use cases, I was showing the 3 stages, and I'm putting emphasis that we want to get to the third stage. That's why we need the pod network, right? And there is
okay.
no other. So that was at least that's how I'm thinking. That's how it went. Lionel, maybe you, what you're thinking is that because if my message was wrong, I'm trying to get the feedback of course here as well, and you're saying that didn't came across.
No, so again, this could just be me personally thinking, but I think we had lots of things to cover, right? We had to like explain how is the interaction with DRA happening over here, or how
Mm,
are we actually making use of DRA? So I think we also spend a significant portion of the time on those aspects, and
mm,
at least I thought that perhaps that could have overshadowed the more important message that we want to convey, which is like pod network. Again, I'm not saying like it's done, it's because of the presentation, but I think it's just that we had to communicate so many ideas that sometimes it's possible to miss what is the exact thing that we want to say. I mean, we had lots of things to discuss, right? So it's possible. So I was thinking maybe we can have another session and focus on just certain things, given the fact that we now have shared some context with the community.
nah.
But again, this is just me speaking. Lionel,
No, Gaurav, that's a good
I
point.
think
You know
both of
what?
you.
I would ask you to, if you could review the slides and basically could point out on what we need to put more emphasis, or you referred some context, what context is missing there.
For
Let
sure, yes.
if you the link the SIG network link is here. So I would ask you then, because that's a valuable feedback. what I missed, because it's always one pair of eyes and it's always tunnel vision.
So I'm not at all saying Mache that you missed anything. It's just that I think now it's possible that we may want to dive in deep into like one specific thing, because
that's a fair point. I think.
But again, I think it's reasonable to say, if I can go to the slides and we can discuss over there, because that will help you figure out, okay, which thing we do.
And that will be helpful for me, right?
Yeah.
And I heard like the end of the meeting, Antonio was as well. Let's do demo again or something. I was like, I now I see why. I think, Lionel, what you're saying, it was so fast, or maybe you had to leave early, that people didn't catch it. So let's definitely do another session just for the demo. Definitely, I'm looking at that. Gaurav, point out some
Absolutely, yes.
pieces that might be missing, and then let's address those as well. But that's a fair point. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do this then, and have discussion around this. And yeah, let's do it next week, because next week is the next session. So I want to kind of get this sorted out, because yeah, let's get this moved. Let's get this merged, right? Yeah. That's the kind of point.
Including the demo, yes. I think one more session will be helpful. Sure.
Okay. Any other feedback, folks? Because that's good. Any other pointers?
Just I understood the point, Gaurav, you said about like the different topics that we have to bring in this, but I think to me it looked okay. It looks good, but it was just the demo part that I don't know. Maybe I was doing something else at the same time, but or it went too fast. But because I remember that it was the very end of the meeting at that time.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not sure if you could continue because there was questions at the same time. So.
Yeah, I think unless because I don't know, maybe my screen went off or something. That's why I don't know what happened there. So yeah.
Part is we have a recording. We can check that out, sure.
Yes, that's a fair point. Yeah, let's see. Link. I have the recordings here. I'm not sure whether it's already available, but those are multi-network. But let's see. Videos. Do we have SIG network? SIG testing. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyone see it?
These seem pretty old. I think, what, from June? Nothing after that?
So we have June 3rd, June. Oh, there is no, June 17, 26th. Which one was it? Oh, so 20. No, that was July, right? We need July.
Yes, 31st. So it's July. Yeah. So nothing like
July 31.
I don't think it's uploaded.
Yeah, I don't think it's there yet. Yeah, it takes sometimes. Yeah, and it's like I don't see any of the. Oh, July we didn't have any other. I think July meetings. That's why there might be none.
I think sometimes it takes more than a month to be uploaded.
Yeah, sometimes yes, Lionel. I noticed that as well recently. Before it was like a week, but recently I see it's happening. Even our SIG networking, our multi-networking meetings are not there. We have from last one is from June as well. I don't see the 2505. Yeah, I don't see one from. They changed recently something like the timestamp is somehow multi-network. Yeah, is different now. Okay, it's not there yet. Okay, so we can definitely check later on. Anything else, folks? I will let me create that approvers list, and let's divide between us on how I will post it into the Slack channel to kind of seek the approvals and reach out to kind of the folks. And if there's not is anything else, right? If not, just another reminder, please LGTM review, and if you can LGTM this guy. Otherwise, yeah, thank you everyone. See
Thanks
you
a
in
lot.
2 weeks, and
Thank
probably
you.
next week we can meet at the SIG network. Let's plan for next SIG network to do a further demo and further discussion. All right.
Also, thanks
Right.
a lot for something last week, Marche. It was, I think, really helpful, and glad to see we're making progress. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
thanks a
All
lot.
right. Thanks, folks.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.